Second City, the famous comedy troupe, and later the series, Second City Television, often took a backseat to NBC's Saturday Night Live. But that doesn't mean that some of the funniest voices in comedy didn't cut their teeth at Second City, the Canadian and Chicago-based improvisational group. Second City actually predates SNL, as they were first formed as an improved group back in 1959. SNL recently celebrated its 50th anniversary, having first hit television screens in 1975. While Second City and SNL are often compared to one another because of their often topical comedy, both shows had overlap in terms of cast members. Many Second City alumni tried to land a spot on SNL but, for various reasons, they didn't appear on the iconic sketch series. I'm a lover of all things sketch comedy, obsessed with everything from The Kids in the Hall to the Bob Odenkirk and David Cross classic, Mr. Show, so it doesn't really matter to me what programs these stars appeared on, so long as they brought top-notch comedy. The Second City stars listed below might not have appeared on SNL, but they continue to make us laugh, and that counts for a lot. 6. Catherine O'Hara. With Second City from 1976 to 1984. Catherine O'Hara is a hugely prolific actress. She has been appearing on television and in films since the 1970s and continues to delight audiences today. In 2024, O'Hara appeared in the cast of Beetlejuice, where she reprised her role as Delia Dietz from the original film. O'Hara also made viewers laugh as Moira Rose, the former soap opera star turned attention-craving mother in Schitt's Creek. She got her start, though, by joining the Second City comedy troupe in 1974. O'Hara rose to fame in her native Canada by appearing in the first season of Second City Television in 1976, and was a regular performer until 1982, continuing to make guest appearances on SCTV until the show ended in 1984. In terms of SNL, O'Hara was tangential to the show but never appeared. She was an understudy for original SNL cast member Gilda Radner. O'Hara was even hired to replace Ann Risley on SNL in 1981, but she never appeared on air. She went back to SCTV once NBC picked up the show for American audiences. 5. John Candy. With Second City from 1972 to 1982. John Candy leaning forward and slightly smiling in a scene from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. The late John Candy brought smiles and laughs throughout his time in Second City and beyond. His presence in classic films like the endlessly quotable Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Cool Runnings, The Rescuers Down Under, and other projects. He gained recognition for his work in the Edmonton and later in the Toronto-based branch of Second City back in 1972. When the troupe made the transition to television, Candy was a member of the original cast. From there, he shot into superstardom and became a household name for his work in both film and television. Sadly, Candy died in his sleep at the age of 43 while filming Wagons East in 1994. A spokesperson announced that his official cause of death was a heart attack, via New York Times. As far as SNL, Candy was sought out by Dick Ebersol to join the season 6 cast. However, Candy declined the offer because he wanted to continue on Second City Television. However, Candy did host SNL in 1983. 4. Steve Carell. Spent at least 4 years with Second City. Steve Carell certainly isn't best known for his time in Second City but rather as Dunder Mifflin boss Michael Scott in the mega-hit sitcom The Office. However, Carell did get his start in the Chicago sector of the improved troupe back in 1991. While in Second City, Carell met future talk show host Stephen Colbert and was even his understudy. Carell stayed at Second City for a bit but really found his place on the short-lived Dana Carvey show. Carell did, however, audition for SNL and made it fairly far in the audition process. He was not selected for the 1995 season, but his wife, Nancy Walls, did secure a spot. For SNL, Carell did voice Gary in the digital short, The Ambiguously Gay Duo, alongside Robert Smigel. Maybe Carell didn't need SNL, though, because he found success on The Office, of course, and highly lucrative film series like Despicable Me. Bob Odenkirk performed with Second City in 1990. Bob Odenkirk is now an iconic actor of both comedy and drama, with starring roles in sketch comedy shows like the highly underrated HBO series Mr. Show, and Breaking Bad and its spin-off, Better Call Saul. However, Odenkirk had humble beginnings in Second City, as he was a performer in Second City's Chicago main stage in 1989. A Chicago native, Odenkirk had first seen Second City as a teenager and was influenced by the comedy troupe, which can be seen through his prolific work in both comedy acting and writing. In terms of SNL, Odenkirk was a writer on the iconic sketch comedy show from 1987 to 1991. During his time with the show, Odenkirk worked with greats like Adam Sandler, David Spade, Chris Rock, and the late Chris Farley. Odenkirk actually wrote Farley's famous Matt Foley, motivational speaker character. The Better Call Saul star did, in fact, appear during an opening monologue on SNL back in the 1990s but was never a cast member. He was a cast member, however, on the short-lived but highly influential The Ben Stiller Show.